morning, guys. Sunday morning. Just posted my video, and a couple things. Number one, I worked with a guy in the early 80s, good chum of mine named Al, and yeah, we worked together several years, slinging beers actually in a hotel. And I guess in the late 80s he moved out to Hawaii and lived on Maui. And last time I talked to him, and I've seen him a few times since he moved away, when he's come back to visit family and stuff. And last time I talked to him, he was living in Lahaina. So if you've been watching the news at all, Lahaina is gone. I mean, it burnt to the ground. So I didn't know if he made it out okay or what. So I checked out his Facebook page this morning, and yeah, I guess a few years ago he moved to the east side of Maui. So yeah, he kind of escaped the carnage, but you know, the place that he used to live in and the and work out of are all gone. You know, towns and buildings and things could be rebuilt, but loss of life is tough and it's forever. So best of luck to everybody in Maui. Last night, a little bit of noise up on my roof. So I went out and checked it out. It was too dark to take footage. I would have liked to, but yeah, two little raccoons, little guys, up on the roof there, poking around where I'd patched up the hole in the roof. And I guess they realized, well, it's closed up now, so they climbed down and took off. So I guess that problem is taken care of. So yeah, we're gonna get back on the truck. You know, keep crossing things off my list and carry on. So stay tuned. Let's get to it. All right, so as usual, I'm going to pick up where I left off in the previous video. When I tested the circuit with a 6-volt battery, I couldn't get the relay to work because it needs a 12-volt, I guess. So I just want to make sure it's all good. So I grabbed the battery out of the truck and I brought it over here. So, yeah, I guess the relay needs 12 volts to work. So with these two wires, this here will be my battery, comes from the battery. So, and with the white one, which is keyed power, twist the two together, it tricks the circuit into thinking that the key is in the on position. So, yeah, so if I ground this out, the fan should come on full bore. There we go. This fan is supposed to be 2400 CFM, which is good. Now I can finish soldering everything and tidy everything up, put some loom on these wires and protect everything, strap things down, and wrap it up and call it done. So yeah, and then put the battery back in my truck so I can go places. But anyway, I'll get that done, and then I'm going to get on the battery box, I think. Okay guys, you're gonna have to bear with me a little bit today. I tweaked my back, I guess, when I was doing the roof, and I mean, I could hardly get dressed this morning. It was it hurts like hell. So I can't do much bending over and stuff like that, but there's some small things I could knock off the list, and so we'll get at it. I'll grab the camera and show you where I am. Oh, everything is difficult. Anyway, so I tidied up all the wiring here. You know, protected everything. Got grommets going through my firewall, even for the big cable that's going to the battery. This one here, it's a pretty heavy wire. Oh no, don't drop it. I think it's a number 8. So good heavy wire. That goes to the battery, and the white one here, that's going to go through to my ignition switch. So a couple of guys asked me why I wired it this way, and you know, instead of using the temperature sensor. Well, if you look at the truck, you know, the grill comes across here. So half the rad isn't getting any airflow from the grill, just the bottom half. And even under the hood, the fan catches the bottom half of the rad as well. So there's nothing happening with cooling in the top half of the rad. So, you know, I want this thing to be running when the truck is running, period. So that's why I wired it up to the ignition switch, and you know, it comes on when the truck is on, and that's it. So, you know, I could put a switch on the dash, but we'll see. I haven't decided yet. But anyway, so that's all tidied up and done. So I'm going to move on to the battery box. And what I did there, I went upstairs and I found this little piece, and nice little tray. You know, you put your threaded rod through here and here. And you know, threaded rod coming up with a hole down. So what I was originally going to do was take, you know, angle iron like so on both corners, and then you know, have a support strap coming down, so it's like a triangle, and then just, you know, mount these to the firewall. Problem is, there's a lot going on there with the heater box and all that, and you know, trying to bolt this thing up in this area here, it's almost impossible. There's brackets and crap, so I don't think I even want to get into that. So my other solution was to maybe just put it here, you know. So I'm gonna have to space it out from the firewall about 1.5 inches. So I'll make that up. Then we'll just have to make a couple of brackets front and back, and down to the fender well, inner fender, and bolt it down. So yeah, it'd be kind of out of the way and not bad. I like the battery under the hood. You know, a lot of guys would say, you know, why didn't you just leave it under the floor on the passenger side like it was from the factory? Well, this thing's going to have carpet and everything. So, you know, I don't want the guy to have to pull back carpet and everything else every time he wants to disconnect the battery or pull it out or charge it or whatever. So, yeah, under the hood is where it's going. So I'm going to go ahead and make up some pieces and clean this thing up, and we'll see what we end up with. Okay, so this is what I came up with. 1x1 square tubing, heavy wall. I kind of beveled the edges, and I'm going to weld it to the 1-inch angle iron. This is going to be my spacer, so it'll bolt this way into the firewall, and this will be fastened to the bottom of the well, welded to the bottom of the battery tray. So yeah, I'm going to weld this all together and show you what I come up with. Alright, so these are the spacers I was talking about. So that'll go into the firewall like so, and then this here, the box, is going to sit on top. I'll clamp it together and weld it up. I'm going to leave the hole clear. That way I don't have to drill through the angle iron after for the threaded rod. So yeah, I'll clamp this up and weld her up. So it's in place. That's where it's going to live. You know, got the clearance here for the fan motor, and yeah, we're good to go. So all I've got to do now is make a leg down to attach to the inner fender here, and maybe one over here as well. And what I'll do is I'm going to fit them in place. Probably just bend a 90 on the bottom, fit them in place, make them longer than I need. I'll just vice grip them on here, and then weld them on, cut off the excess, clean it up, call it done. So yeah, I'll set up the camera for that. Alright, so I made up this little bracket, bent it, drilled some holes. I'm going to mark it and cut it, and this should get me both legs that I need. Okay. bend it here. Okay. Do some bending and cutting and I'll come right back. All right. I ended up welding a 90 on the end of this one. That's going to come under the battery tray. Like so. Alright, so I can unbolt it. I'll weld these brackets on, clean them all up, and then I'll mark my holes after in case things move. Yeah, should be alright. Yeah, it's alright. We'll go with that. There she is, all welded up, sitting in place. I'm just going to mark my holes and I can drill them. Going to get this thing in paint, and then I'm going to the pharmacy to get something for pain because I am freaking dying here, man. I can't take it. Probably put some heat in my back and call it a day, and hopefully tomorrow I'm semi back to normal. But this is just brutal, man. You know, my dad had back pain for 30 plus years. I don't know how the hell he did it. Anyway, that's it for now. See you tomorrow. All right, so it's the next day, and happy to report that drugs are marvelous, and yeah, I feel 100% better today. Yesterday was absolutely freaking brutal, man. I didn't even think I'd get that battery box done, but whatever. So I've got a little bit of time left. I've got a couple things to cross off the list and maybe get to, you know, I'm not going to do anything heavy duty here. It's still tweaked, but it's not bad. So I'll do something light and easy. So anyway, what do we got here? Okay, the e-brake. That's from the last video. Brake handle. Oh yeah, paint under the fenders. Build the battery box. So yeah, a few things we can knock off. I think I've got to change the valve covers here. I've got a higher end set. The ones that are on there are kind of cheapy. So I want to put these good ones on, but they need to be buffed out first. So I'll get them ready, and maybe we'll set up the camera, and yeah, I'll polish up some valve covers. That's a nice easy job. I think I can handle it. I hope. Okay, so here's the valve covers. I mean, they look okay, but they're pretty tarnished, you know, oxidized. And I'm gonna run a buffing machine on them, see if I can shine them up like new. I'll start with one. When I get one done, I'll show the comparison, but I'll show a little bit of of the buffing itself. So I'll just set up the camera and yeah, we'll get after it. I've got two compounds here. The brown is medium coarse, and the green is the finishing final one. I've already gone over it with the brown. It's been about 10 minutes or so. So yeah, we'll get after it with the green now. So I just put a little bit on the wheel. There you can see the difference already. Okay, so I'll keep on getting after it, and when I'm done, I figure about 15-20 minutes, and then I'll show you the comparison between the two. Okay, well, I think you can tell the difference between the two. Quite a bit of difference. If you can't see it, well, you know, go see an optometrist. But yeah, it's a pretty big difference. You know, I'm gonna get fingerprints and stuff all over these things when I install them, so I'll probably just you know, polish them up with some other kind of metal polish or aluminum polish or whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to get the main oxidation and grime off them. So yeah, I like the way they're looking. So needs a little bit more work yet, but it's pretty much there. I think it looks it's going to be a big improvement over the ones that are on the engine, that's for damn sure. These are a high quality, high-end valve cover. So there you go. It's all about all I got time for today. So gonna close her out. So even though being crippled up for a day, still managed to get a couple things done. So it's not a total loss. It's not like I had to take 2 whole days off. But I struggled yesterday, man. I'm telling you. I was trying to hide it, but man, hurt big time. So those of you who have back pain as a regular thing, man, I feel bad for you guys. That's awful. Anyway, so I figure I should be back to 100% in a day or two, and we'll get after it again and knock more crap off my list. So we got a couple things done anyway, like I said. So I got a little bit of wiring to tidy up under the fenders, and then I can put the wheels on, drop this thing back down, then I can get my valve covers on, and a few other little things in the engine bay cleaned up. Gonna get after some wiring and putting in some you know, headlamp pots and stuff like that. I'd like to get, as long as we have decent weather, I'd like to get the grill clear coated and on the truck. The problem with this time of year is the fruit flies. And fruit flies and paint don't mix well together. They're horrible little bastards. But during the afternoon in the heat, they're not an issue. But early in the evening till late in the evening, man, they are just brutal. And there's not much you can do about it. I mean, they're tiny little things that are just nasty. And for whatever reason, paint is like a magnet. So especially clear coat. So you know, if I sprayed something clear in the evening, it would look like a fur coat by the time I was done. So anyway, new subscribers, thank you. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. And you know, tell a buddy, tell a chum, help spread the word. And yeah, don't be shy, leave comments down below. And you know, if you're not doing anything else, get in the garage and build something, man. Later, guys.